Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great holiday. Happy Friday. My name is Milan Sharma, and I have some breaking news to share with you today. Obama signs 2017 NDAA into law, and this is very, very big news to share with you today. And I'm just going to give you, so you'll see this everywhere. It's breaking news. He signs it. But obviously, you're just going to look at he signs it, that's it, you're going to move on. You're not going to look at why or what's in the bill itself. And that's what I'm here to tell you. I'm going to tell you what's in the bill itself and so you're more informed about the bill, because that's what government officials don't really tell you all the time. So this is an article on RT, and this is going to explain what this bill really allows for. So Congress has authorized $618.7 billion for the 2017 military budget. So again, this budget makes up 54% of the United States national budget. 54%. Okay, and yet, ever since 2003 Iraq invasion, Taliban control more territory than before the invasion. ISIL was created since the invasion. There's been a spike in terrorist attacks since the invasion. So this war on terrorism is not working out for America. It's not working out for Europe at all, for France, for Britain, for Germany especially. Oh my gosh. So I can go on and on, but I'm going to explain to you what this article states here. And I'll put the link below for you so you can read it fully in depth. The bill ups the aid to Ukraine. Excuse me. The bill ups aid to Ukraine by $50 million. $50 million. And allows the transfer of missiles to Syrian rebels. However, it omits controversial provisions about drafting women or religious exemptions for contractors. So, Syrian rebels. Now, many articles refer to these rebels. They just say Syrian rebels. You don't know anything about them. But Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard introduced a bill to Congress that is called Stop Arming Terrorists Now. And you think, man, that's so out front. Why would anybody vote against that? Well, mainly because politicians support Saudi Arabia overwhelmingly because the corporations that won war and want to continue funding them and selling weapons of destruction to them wanted to get their paycheck from the corporations, the defense contractors. That's why politicians support Saudi Arabia and Israel and so on. So again, where was I? So what is Syrian rebel exactly? Well, Syrian rebels, it's a very complicated term because these rebels that we support, when was the last time the United States, let me give you this question. When was the last time we supported any sort of rebel? How did that turn out? Let's give an example. One example. Ronald Reagan, he supported the Mujahideen to get the Soviet Union out. Okay, they got him out just like that, easily, simple. But what was the plan after that? The Mujahideen has our weapons in their control, and they're radical. All they think is kill, shoot, kill. So they just shoot and kill innocent civilians afterward. So it's a nasty cycle of violence over and over again. And then, what do you know? 2001 rolls around. They kill almost 3,000 people in New York City. So, and that's the biggest example. But another example is when we overthrew Saddam Hussein, and look what happened there. ISIS filtered in there, and they blossomed from that. So again, that's just a huge problem. So let's look into this bill. Buried in the bill in section 1224 was the provision to allow man-portable air defense systems, also known as MANPADS, MANPADS, to Syrian rebels appropriately vetted by U.S. intelligence. The law requires the Pentagon and the State Department to file extensive documentation with Congress, including details of the weaponry provided, the recipient's location and the intelligence assessment, including a description of the alignment of such element within the broader conflict in Syria. The report would need to include a justification for supplying the manpads, including an explanation of the purpose, expected employment of such systems. Okay, so let's skip that. So basically that's saying the NDAA increases military aid to the government of Kyiv, which is in Ukraine, to $350 million, 50 million more than in 2016. So when the United States is funding and continues to increase funding in Ukraine, and say this random propaganda that states that Russia hacked the U.S. elections when evidence actually showed that it was a leak, and there's no evidence whatsoever. The CIA, which is the least trusted government agency, is saying that they're quoting anonymous sources. So these people are anonymous, and we don't know if they're credible. So they're quoting anonymous sources that say that Russia hacked the election and to help Trump. Okay, and even Professor Noam Chomsky said that if the CIA didn't kill anybody, it's not true. So it's most likely not true. And that yes, the FBI sided with them. However, the FBI did an investigation earlier in October 31st and concluded that there was no evidence linked to that. Excuse me. So again, there's no evidence whatsoever. So Russia is a nuclear power, and we're directly threatening them. If NATO is on their border, and we're giving $50 million more in aid to Ukraine, this is all threats to Russia. This is very dangerous, and we shouldn't be doing this at all. Again, sections 1261 to 65 authorize the U.S. president to sanction anyone responsible for extrajudicial killings, torture, or other gross violations of internationally recognized human rights committed against individuals in any foreign country who seek to expose illegal activity carried out by government officials, or to obtain, exercise, defend, or promote internationally recognized human rights and freedoms. So, authorized sanctions include denying entry to the U.S. or revoking an existing U.S. visa, seizure of any property or interest they are located in the U.S. or come within possession or control of the U.S. person. The provision was sunset 6 years after the NDAA's enactment. So this is basically like Snowden, for example. If they release any information that exposes illegal programs of the government, then the United States president can sanction that person that's responsible. So these are just some of the biggest problems with this. And again, the United States is, and again with the Syrian rebels, these Syrian rebels won't deny that they are linked with terrorists, that they are aligned with al-Nusra, which is a terrorist group, or Al-Qaeda or ISIL. They don't deny any of this, and they won't claim that they won't admit it if they are. And many of the Syrians, and even an independent journalist from Canada that went to Syria, actually said that the Syrians prefer Assad because, yes, I mean, he's brutal, but the terrorists would be worse. I mean, the Syrian army is actually trying to evacuate the people out of Aleppo safely. So, again, we don't want to see a repeat of Iraq, of Mujahideen in 1980. We don't want to see a repeat of that. So, sadly, the United States is moving in that direction, and this should worry a lot of people. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you have a fantastic vacation. Follow me on Twitter. The link is below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.